Hi everyone, I hope you're okay. Welcome to my very sunny garden today. I thought I would do my next video and my next instalment of my partnership with Green Tones Pots. So I have teamed up with them. I ordered some of these amazing pots a few weeks back and I've been using them and they're incredible. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about them, and then we're going to be doing lots of seed sowing today. So the seed sowing is all about growing seeds that germinate really quickly, seeds that grow really easily, so it's a great way to get kids involved too. So Green Tones Pots, you can find their direct link in the comments. They are a pot company that make pots from recycled bamboo fibre, and the main ingredient is basically the bamboo powder, and that's made by using end-of-life products like chopsticks and placemats and even things like scaffolding and decking, and then that's all put together with a little bit of organic resin to bind it together to make these really great, durable, reusable pots. Now these pots are great as well because when they do get to the end of the life, I'm not sure how long that's going to take because they are so strong, so I can use these season after season, but when they are sort of at the end of life, these will all break down and they're all like natural and biodegradable, which is amazing. So I will be using some of those today to sow some of the seeds in, but also I've been sent some of their fully biodegradable pots like that you can use straight away. So I can sow some seeds into these, grow some seedlings, and then I can plant these directly into the soil. So I'm going to be sowing some courgette seeds into these today as well, just to give them a go and see how they do. But obviously these are all made from like organic wood pulp fibre. They're biodegradable and obviously great for transplanting. So if you've got any plants that are a little bit unhappy when you transplant them or move them or take them out of their pots and pot them, sometimes they get a little bit shot. With these you don't have to do that. So I'm going to try some courgettes plants in here, and the roots will actually grow through these, and once they're strong enough and the risk of frost has passed, I can transplant those straight out into my allotment. So I'm going to be sowing some stuff in these today and in the bamboo fibre pots. Now these come in a range of sizes, and they all have holes that you just pierce in the bottom, so they've got drainage, and they're amazing. The ones that I ordered myself and have been using are doing really well. So it's a great way to hopefully obviously like reduce plastic in the garden. Now I'll continue to reuse my plastic pots until they finish, but with these at least you know that if you've got to buy any more pots that you're not adding to the plastic in the landfill. So I'm going to sow some seeds. I'm going to try these ones first, and I'm going to sow some courgette seeds into these ones. I've got a couple of different courgettes to try this year, just the normal courgettes and then also some round courgettes. Now I'm going to fill these like sort of to the top and then just gently press them down so that the compost is nice and compacted. I'm going to sow a couple of the round courgettes into this one, and then some normal courgettes into another two. Now with these I'm thinking that I'm going to need like a little tray to put them in, so I'm going to find a little tray afterwards. I'm going to pop all of these seeds that I've sown into a cold frame just for tonight, and then hopefully during the week I'm going to take them down to my greenhouse at the allotment. So make sure you sow any courgette, pumpkin, squash seeds on their side. They just germinate quicker and easier. Top them up with a bit more soil. I use peat-free soil because it's really important to try and use peat-free in the garden because it's great for the environment. Top them up and then give them a water with some warm water. I always find that helps with the germination. So those are the round ones. Don't forget your labels like I do all the time. I'm terrible. And give those a water. So what I'll do is I'm going to pop them in a tray and water them and then pop them in the cold frame. Okay, so I'll do my normal courgettes in these as well, see how they get on, and I'll probably do a little update on my stories to sort of show you how they get on when I actually transplant them into the ground directly in the pots. It'd be quite good. I've never used any of these fully biodegradable pots before. It's been nice to see how they get on. Now, if you're growing courgettes, you may or may not know that you will get lots of courgettes just on one plant. So realistically, a couple of plants is probably enough for one household. If you're like me and just like to grow as many things as possible, then I'll obviously grow probably four plants around my allotment, but that will give me an absolutely massive courgette glut. So and you'll find that no matter how many courgettes you've got, you won't be able to give them away. Not all of them anyway. People sort of have enough of them. Okay, so I'm going to now use some of these pots. Oh yeah, I've got some down here that I've already pierced the holes in. I'm going to sow some pumpkins in these. Pumpkins I found are a really great way to get kids involved in the garden. They germinate really quickly, the plants grow in the pots really quickly. You have to pop them on before they're ready to plant out, and obviously the end result is a big pumpkin at the end of it. And I think kids find it so magical, well even I do, to sow a small seed and then watch it grow to something so big. And I think it's a great way to get kids involved if you want to do that. So just some normal jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. You just want to sow one pumpkin seed per pot because they do grow quite big. They do get great root systems on them, so you don't want them to be sharing that with any other seeds. So again, in here, just plant the seed on its side, top up again with compost, press it down, and then give these a nice water and label. Water with warm water, and then these are going straight into my little cold frame, which I'll show you at the end. It gets sun quite a bit of the day, so they should germinate nice and quickly. If you still have room on your windowsills, I'd definitely recommend popping any kind of seedlings on your windowsills until they're germinated and are a little bit bigger before popping them out into like cold frames or greenhouses. So that's that one done. And then sunflowers. Now I'm going to be using one of these size pots again, but with the sunflowers I'm growing some multi-headed dwarf sunflowers. I grew them last year and they were incredible. They're not as tall, they're a bit smaller, they're probably just a little bit smaller than I am, but they're multi-headed and the bees and pollinators absolutely love them. They were always covered in butterflies and bees, so a really great addition to any kind of garden or allotment space to try and encourage those pollinators in. So with the sunflowers, I'm probably going to sow 2 seeds per pot, and then easily when we get to the point of planting them out, it's easy to just take all the soil out and just split it into 2, and then they will plant really successfully into the ground. So these seeds are slightly smaller. If you see them, I'll just put sort of one on one side over here, and then one on the other side, just so that they're opposite sides. Again, just cover with some soil and pat down so it's nice and compact, and give it a water with some warm water just to help those seeds germinate that little bit quicker. Again, if you've got lots of rooms left still on your windowsills, get these on your windowsills. If you haven't, like me, because you're a crazy plant lady and they're full, these would be okay now outside in some sort of like cold frame, greenhouse, polytunnel. So I will get these ones in my cold frame, and these ones, I'm going to just pop those like in a little tray, because obviously the water will come out of these. I mean, to be honest, I could just put them like that in the cold frame because it doesn't really matter if the water goes anywhere. So I just want to say a big thank you again to the wonderful team at Green Tones Pots for sending me all of these pots to use, so I can create some informative like little videos for you, so hopefully you can grow your own. And check them out. You can follow the link to their page in my comments, but also in my comments I'm going to be popping a code for you to use so you get money off your pot orders. So go check them out. And also, what I mean by my little cold frame is this here. So I'm going to fill this up now with loads of colourful pots and all of the seeds that I'm sowing. The weather is warming up a little bit, still quite chilly at night, so try to protect things, but we're getting there, the sunshine's coming. So I will bring you another video in a couple of weeks' time, and that will be all about microgreens.